Yeah, there's quite a few seagulls flying around. That's a good sign. Yeah, they're even up on the bank. So we're here at Table Rock Lake in mid-March. So this is a place, because of my Bass Pro relationship, I spend a lot of time down here. And you know, it's a perfect time of the year to have these fish starting to push shad back into some of these pockets. Mega Live is such a game changer when you're chasing these open water fish that are following these pods of bait around. So hopefully we can get right out there and show you exactly what I'm talking about. I'm just scanning left and right with my trolling motor. I've got the transducer for live on there, and I'm just looking for them out here. If we could see the bass push the bait to the top, and that's what they typically do on mornings like this, then you know, this just gives you, you can just scan around and you can see the exact distance, direction. You can see your bait, watch it happen, you know, and it's really cool to do. It's an unbelievable tool. The bait going right down to that one. Here he comes. Gosh, look at him follow it. He's right on it. See the bait moving? See him? Gosh, and then he turned away. You know, just adding Mega Live to that and to be able to watch the bait and see how they react to it. I mean, that's the difference, you know. Even if you've seen a schooling fish on top, you don't know if he's following it. You don't know if he should be throwing a jerkbait or topwater, a swim bait or whatever. But with Mega Live, you can actually tell these fish will either go right to it and get it, or they'll turn away and go away from it. So, you know, you can see their mood and know that you need to change something or to shake your bait more, or to do something with it. And that's one of the reasons I like this Damiki, is I can pop it and make it dart. You know, you can trigger a lot of them almost like a jerkbait with it. So having all these tools just makes you that much more efficient. Over here to the right. Got him. He went right to it and pounded it. Nice one. I saw those two. 70 feet out. Dropped it. And gosh, if they're active, you just can't beat this, because and there's fish all, you can see them all on the graph right here, right now. A lot of them followed him in. Another good solid spot. Just pretty one. That Damiki is deadly for this. You gotta have, you know, now that we have Mega Live, you have to have a rod rigged all the time to pitch to fish that you see. Just depending on, you know, the cover. If you're here in open water, this works good. I mean, if you're fishing down the bank and, and around brush and docks and things like that, it may be a Texas rig, but you want to have something ready to go when you see these fish on the live. I've been using like a Damiki style bait. I've got a 1/4 ounce Damiki head. You know, the deeper you're fishing, you can go to a 3/8. If you're fishing shallower, you can go to a 3/16 or an 8. But that stand-up style, or that stand, you know, that's designed for that bait to kind of hang straight when it's fished vertically, is what I like, because it really glides well with it. I've just got a Pearl Blue Glimmer Baby Z2 on there. You know, you want to use some type of shad pattern, or if you're fishing shad like this, you know, around shad. The water's a little bit stained, so having something a little brighter like that is really good. But I like this because it's super soft. I mean, it just quivers even if you're trying to hold it still, and it has a great dart to it. So if I see one start to follow it, I could, you know, snap it a little bit, almost like a jerk bait, and that thing is just really erratic, and it'll trigger a lot of them to bite in that situation. You know, I've got a 7-foot spinning rod. This is my own Tour KVD GS4. It's a 7.2 medium light action spinning rod. I've got it with a Lew's custom light reel, 8-pound braid with about a 20-foot, 8-pound fluorocarbon, you know, Bass Pro XPS fluorocarbon leader, tied with an FG knot. You know, when you're fishing this way, it's all about, you know, keeping a close focus on that, being able to see that bait on the Mega Live screen and watching those fish react to it. This is a deadly bait when you're targeting these fish that are actually roaming around in open water, chasing schools of shad like we did today. You just pretty much have to kind of be in the right area. I think most of these that I'm seeing hitting the top are just these. Got him. So I'm just, you know, trying to use all my tools right now. I've got my Hydrowave running on offshore schooling with a 45-second delay. And I mean, right there, just a pitch from the boat, this one came up and pushed bait to the top, and I just pitched over there. I didn't see him on my live or anything. Just, he came up there and hammered it, you know, I mean, and I see that a lot. You know, I'm watching with this Mega Live. I never realized how many fish came to the speaker, that Hydrowave, until I had this live where you're seeing these fish react to it. So you think of how this live works. It's a 20-degree cone on that transducer, and it's kind of like shooting a flashlight beam out there. And if something is in that beam, that's how you get that reflection on the screen. So that's why you can see your bait, but you're gonna see a little bit of the sparkling just because I've got the settings a little higher. This is my actual bait right here. You see when I jig my rod, you can watch it go up and down. And that's my Damiki right there. And the way this works, I mean, you can see I'm right to the trolling motor, just a couple of feet. And then as it goes under the boat, it disappears. And you know, the great thing about the Humminbird One Boat Network is that you know, your 2D sonar, your Mega 360, and your live can all run in unison and not interfere with each other. So with my Mega 360, I can see, you know, everything around the boat. If a brush pile comes in, or you know, I see a rock pile that's off to the side, and then I know to point my trolling motor over there and look at what I'm seeing on the Mega 360. So it's really, this with this is a deadly combo. I've got mine set up right now at 90 feet. You know, you set the depth range for the water, and I've been back and forth out of, you know, from 45. So I've got it set to 45, but you can see the actual bottom right here is 25 foot where I'm at. There's some timber that I'm going over right here. There's a couple fish coming in onto the screen out here. And, you know, with a Mega 360, I can see, you know, some of the rocks here off to the right as it gets up towards the bank. You know, Table Rock is just loaded with different types of cover. So, you know, I've got my sensitivity. I like to run the sensitivity a little bit higher, and I've got it set on the forward range at 60 degrees. And I've got that trolling motor transducer 6 clicks up from pointing straight down. So you can directionally change this transducer whatever whatever direction you want. Now look here on the screen, there's 5 or 6 fish spread out right there in the water column. Got him too. I just saw those and pitched right to it. I'm like, man, that looked more, it's not a big one, but I'm just here talking and I look down and there's fish showed up on the sonar. You pitch right there to them, you know the exact distance and direction, and you catch them, you know. I mean, that one bit like crazy. Oh, there's a brush pile. I don't see a fish, but you can't, when they a lot of times they'll get in there. You probably will get one, see if we can get one to come out of it. You can really see it now. There's my bait going right down to it. Here comes one, here he comes. Got him. He come right out of that brush pile and got it. That was cool. You can see right here on the screen, you can see the brush top, and I dropped it right to it, and he came. I mean, not a huge one, but just a good solid, you know, 2-pound Table Rock spot. It's just, that's exactly what Mega Live will do for you right there. Is you just can't, you always got to be watching, you know. I mean, I didn't see that fish, but I pitched this Damiki to that brush top, and he went right down. I mean, I seen him come out of the brush top and come up there and get it. Being able to use forward-facing sonar now for the past year, it's opened my mind and changed the way that I think I mean, I've been doing this for 30-something years. I'd never realized how many fish just swim randomly around out in open water, especially in lakes like this that have clear water and a lot of bait. They don't relate to cover, they're not relating to structure, they're just roaming around looking for bait.